besides Jocelyn and Gina?
What's it called? It's the jackwhite.com/admin. So the back office. It's on the My Seller Report. And it sends it and tells it how many was direct, how many goes straight there. It'll tell me how many came from my personalized website versus how many came from jackwhite.com, how many came from Facebook versus how many came from. Wow.
Wow. Amanda, did you get all that?
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda. We have to be Jocelyn, okay? Whatever Jocelyn does, let's do that, okay? Thank you,
So
Jocelyn.
I'll let you know if I get an offer. But
well, that's beautiful. So. But just telling us how you are marketing it is just so helpful. Thank you. We all have to do that. You'll have to teach us how. When Amanda learns how, she can teach you all as well. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Any problems in the field? Anybody? Field problems. Quick.
Fine.
You mean in getting things closed?
The TRID's a pain.
Please warn everybody, your buyers or sellers, warn them we're trying as hard as we can. I signed one in the closing today, and there's 5 in front of it. And it's taking closings a lot longer, and it's taking title a lot longer. I mean, we're all trying hard. If everybody can just be prepared for not meeting that exact deadline, it would be.
Should we write 45-day or 60-day? 60-day contract.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we'll wait till cover yourself.
Exactly.
But it's that everybody's happy.
It minimizes the expectation, then, doesn't it? Yeah.
What I learned too is like that 3 days. I mean, if they do the final walkthrough before you sign, and they find something that they think needs to be corrected, you got to take it back, right?
Start over.
Another 3 days.
No, not unless you have to pay. The sellers to pay for it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the buyers pay for it.
Numbers or anything. I mean, if they just haven't finished, cleaning the refrigerator or something like that on the wall. When the clock starts over again, and if there's something has to do with
money for the buyer's
settlement statement.
Something on the settlement statement you have to add. If you don't add anything to the settlement statement, you don't have to worry about it. Only if you add money.
What comes to mind is if at the last minute your buyer wanted to do an early occupancy, the rent is supposed to go on the settlement statement. Most likely it would change everything. You'd have to keep it off the settlement statement, which is not my preference. But
or goes back to and then that's put on the settlement statement, and then the clock starts.
Then they may have to re-qualify if they're short on cash or whatever. That's a big deal. That needs to be done up front.
Not happened to one of mine, but I heard it happen to somebody else in the office. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, have you said the early occupancy? If you would like to tell us about that until the very end, of when you're sitting there when they're signing, and then it's late.
Home warranties are another thing. If the buyer's paying for the home warranty, that better be done up front so it gets on the settlement statement ahead of time. That can't be added at the last minute anymore.
Early occupancy, home warranty, whatever.
And come in.
Any invoices.
Still collecting in the dark or not knowing what to do. It's always come in and ask any of us in the office, hey, how should I do this? What about this? Because we're all learning together. And we want to help.
60-day contracts, that's what I'm going to start doing.
And then what about, if they're married, but just one has title? So then you have to get that cleared.
Nothing changes.
Okay, nothing changes.
As long as they were qualified that way.
Nothing changes with qualifying people.
I think number one is, I think with all of this, is stay in direct communication with the title company and lenders.
And the other thing, and certainly I learned this the hard way a number of years ago because I had an assistant who wanted to be a hero, and you just be so careful not to overpromise. You cannot promise what the lender will do. You can't promise what the title company is going to do. You cannot promise.
And I would never, if you were an assumer, I would maybe stop assuming somebody else is going to get that.
Yeah.
We on top of our game.
Just grow up. Just be all grown-ups instead of waiting for other people to do things. Any other comments before Gina talks to us about time management? John, you look perplexed. What's going on in your life? Are you doing?
I'm just trying to get some new activity going.
Okay. All right. Gina, you're on time management tips.
Okay. So obviously, tip number 1, I gave you guys a copy of all this today so you can keep it.
I think,
Amanda has some down there. Becky
Are we
needs
out?
a sheet.
I've got an extra here.
So obviously, tip 1 is to make a to-do list. Whether it's paper or electronic, doesn't matter. But if you're going to stay on task with things that you need to do, you've got to make a list somehow. Unless it's something you can do in 5 minutes or less. And if it is, just do it and don't put it on the list. So tip number 2, to always make sure that you are doing what you need to do, you need to review your list at the end of the day. And then at that point, if you didn't finish something, then you need to add that to tomorrow's list. But you always have a list, always. You have to be really careful about setting priorities, and you have to be ruthless about it. Make sure that what you think is important, it really is important. And what I mean by that is, if you're thinking about, obviously an appointment with a client would be very important. Maybe making sure your dog gets a bath today is not as important. I mean, it's important, but maybe not as important as your client. So make sure the things that you are listing as important truly are important for that day's task to be completed. And then the other thing that's important is the difference between important and urgent. Because there's certain things that are urgent and there's certain things that are important. Obviously, if it's urgent, it goes to the very top of your list. You have to keep your to-do list with you at all times so you can check it off, and sometimes you have to revise it as the day goes on. But it's important to always keep it with you so you can stay on task. And if all things being equal, do the hardest, less fun thing first and get it over with. Because otherwise you'll procrastinate doing it all day because you just don't really want to do it. And that's like the one thing that people do a lot is they procrastinate the thing that they want to do the least. And then they'll find anything they can do to keep from having to do that task. And so that's a really important thing with time management is just get it done, move on. And you'll feel better too because it's off your chest and it's off your list and you can go on. Well, I just kind of covered this already, but if it takes less than 5 minutes to do it, just do it. Gina?
You find with your list that you are constantly changing them throughout the day as well?
I do, often. And with me, it's a little bit different because I'm in my office and the door is open. So, and I like it that way. But I have to be really careful with my list, and I really try to get as much done as I can first thing in the morning before most of all you guys are here. So when people do come in and they have a question or they need something, I can be available because I want to be as available as possible. And the only way I can be is if I get my tasks that require, my devoted attention out of the way first. It's good to deal with emails at a set time each day, if at all possible. If you check emails as they arrive, limit your sessions to about 5 minutes. So spend 5 minutes on your emails, answer as many as you can, quick answer just to get it off your list, out of the way. Otherwise, you'll forget. Because once you've clicked on it to read it, sometimes you forget to go back and answer it. So it's better just to deal with that right away and just get it off your list. And you need to, like I was just kind of saying, you need to schedule some uninterrupted time each day to deal with the tasks that are important, that require your undivided attention. Because everyone has that, and you need to make sure that you do put that time away to do that. And another approach, before you check your email or voicemail, devote a solid hour to your most important project. And that's a good way of kind of scheduling your day as well, is just because emails and voicemails will distract you from whatever you're doing. So if you have something really important you need to achieve for that day, just get that done. Schedule that's the first hour of the day. I'm going to do that. Get it done, and then you can start your emails and your voicemails, things that are going to distract you away from that whatever that project is. If you're not really sure where you're wasting your time or where you're spending extra time, kind of just take an inventory of your day and do that for a few days or a week or whatever you feel is appropriate to kind of get a handle on where you're wasting your time. You'd probably be really surprised at how much time you waste each day on just stuff, checking Facebook, texting people, whatever. You waste a lot of time. And then try to eliminate those times. Those things in your day. The other thing that is helpful as well is if you just turn off your phone for a half hour. Most things you are not going to go completely haywire. If you have something that you are waiting for a phone call, or you have something like the dire that day, then don't do it that day. But if you don't, then turn it off for 30 minutes. Give strict focus to getting some projects done. Then turn your phone back on, and then pay attention, because your phone is probably your biggest distractor that you have and time waster. Because you'll get on there and you'll I was just thinking I wanted to look up this in Facebook, or I was just thinking, I need to buy this for someone, or I'm curious about this, and you start Googling stuff. It's just kind of human nature. So you have to kind of train yourself to not do that. And by turning your phone off for 30 minutes and saying, okay, I'm going to get this done. I've got 30 minutes to do it. I'm going to do it in this 30 minutes. Then you can, that really helps to focus you on this. And that's kind of a good tip, I guess.
May I add? What I try to do when I do my lists is I put time that I think it's going to take to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's like a market analysis, and it's a big one, I'll block out a 2-hour time slot for that activity. Then I see where I can fit it in my day.
Mm-hmm.
Because making the list is fabulous, but if you don't know how it's going to fit it in your day, then what's shocking to me is how little you're going to get done that day. When you start adding time slots to the list, suddenly there's 25 things on the list you're not going to get to. So then you really prioritize.
Mm-hmm. What I do, I put my list in my phone in my calendar. So I schedule my whole day. So in the morning at 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I've got a task. 10 to 10:15, another task. 10:30, another task. And I give myself alerts too. So it's all the time it's popping up. Okay, all right, did I do that? Yes, I did that. Okay, great. Did that. And then at the end of the day, you look at your whole day. Did I do everything I was supposed to do? Yes. No. This is tomorrow. So or later on today. Whatever it is. You have to put the importance to it.
After the middle of a task and your alert goes off, do you finish that task or do you stop that task?
No, I finish it. I don't like to be in the middle of something, if possible. A lot of times you can't help it, but if you can, finish it, just to get it off your list. You want to try to get as much off of your list completed as possible, so you don't have to add it to tomorrow.
Well, like email for me, it's goodness, you get so much junk and then stuff that's really important. So maybe turn off your phone for 30 minutes, but maybe just put a timer on for 30 minutes. I'm just going to look at all my emails and get done as much as I can. That's what I'm doing for today. Or maybe in a couple of hours, I'll revisit that if I have a open window of time. I know for me, that's I'm going to have to discipline myself because you're right. We get sidetracked and, oh my gosh, this reminds me of this. And then all these other new tasks come into play. So that's my biggest culprit. I think that's
So you're working on, when you have a big job, if you can cut it into chunks, what's more important, get part of it done in different areas. Some jobs you can do that, some jobs you can't. It just depends on the task. But if you can do that, it does help to break it up into chunks of importance. And then you're actually able to see that you're actually getting it done, opposed to gosh, this is so monumental. I don't know if I'm going to have time to finish it. Kind of an idea in your mind. If something is complex, make sure you schedule enough time and you schedule wiggle room in there to get it done. Especially like a CMA or something like that. It's so important. I mean, I always add an extra day. I always tell people I'll get it to them a day longer than I really think I can do it. And then most of the time I get it to them a day early. But it's so much better to give it to someone early than it is to disappoint them and give it to them late. Because if you give it to them late, they're not going to be happy. They're going to feel like, this person's really going to be marketing my home. They can't even give me paperwork on time. It just sends a really bad message all the way around. So you definitely don't want to do that. And like I heard Paul say earlier, you always should under-promise and over-deliver. I mean, just always do that. It's really, really important. And if your day, requires routine, repetitive tasks, keep a record of how long it takes to do them, and see if you can do it faster each time. And that's a way to, kind of give yourself goals and surpass those goals. And you can go one step further and set specific time limits for routine tasks, which Kathy kind of touched on. Work will tend to fill whatever amount of time that you happen to have. And that is so true, but it's funny because I think all of us can probably relate to when someone tells you they're coming over for dinner, your husband or your wife says, oh, by the way, I invited somebody over for dinner, and you're like, what? Or over tomorrow, then you're like frantically cleaning the house, you're doing everything. It's amazing how much you can get done in like 30 minutes. If you know someone's coming over in 30 minutes, then if you have all day to do it, you'll just kind of piddle around and not be as motivated. But you truly could do it in 30 minutes, so why do you not always do it in 30 minutes? It's because it's just a different set of motivation. And so I thought that was interesting because it's true. I think we've all experienced that. And if you establish smart, efficient systems for all your tasks, big and small, and then stick to them. And like I said, my system is I put things in my phone per time. Other people may write a paper list, or it doesn't even matter what it is. It's whatever works for you, really, that you can keep yourself organized with. And value your time. People who wander into your workspace to chat, I say here they don't respect your schedule. It doesn't mean it in a bad way, but they're just not thinking about it. So it's okay to say, I'm in the middle of a project, let me finish this up and I'll get back to you in 2 hours, or can we get back together, tomorrow or something like that. That's totally appropriate to do that, and you should do that, because if you're working on something that you have a client that's expecting it, you need to get it done. And people will, your colleagues will respect you to know, hey, I've got to finish the CMA up. They'll leave. They'll let you get your work done. But you have to tell them, because people do like to chit-chat. And it's okay to chit-chat. I mean, we sell a lot of real estate, talking to people and letting them know what we have going on, or buyers or sellers or whatever. So it's important to give time for that as well.
Let me add something. If somebody walks in your office and you're in the middle of a project and you don't want them to stay and get comfortable, just stand up. Stand up and don't let them sit down. You don't sit down, they don't sit down. And it's easier to get rid of them when they haven't gotten comfortable.
You know what I like? How I get them off the phone, man. Oh my God. I don't know what it is. Finally, I just say, hey, Bobby, oh, I just got to like that show, man. I hate lying, but I don't know how else to do it. They'll just want to.
You know what? I put them on mute and check my emails until they're done. Get a lot done that way. Anyway,
well, I think you can tell people, what, I would love to, can we finish this conversation at a different time? I've got an appointment to get to, or I'm busy. I mean, that's appropriate, Paul, to do that.
That's another thing that I'm saying. I really want to be able to focus and listen to the conversation. But right now, I'm really distracted. I have to take this time. I do that a lot. I really want to focus. but I can't miss
That's great. Very respectful.
Where was I?
it.
When and where you can say no. Trying to do everything everyone wants you to do is a recipe for failure. You have to learn to say no. If you don't and you disappoint your clients because you're overpromised, they will say no to you and find someone else that will stay on task. So that's really, really important. You have to, if you can't do it or you can't do it in the time frame they want it, be honest with them. Say, can you get this back to me in an hour? You know, no, I can't. I want to do a good job. It takes time to research this information, and it's going to take me till, tomorrow at noon or something, whatever it is. But you have to let them know. I mean, they'll respect the fact that you want to do a good job for them and you want to work hard for them, opposed to you saying, sure, and then you just kind of rip something out because it's all the time you have. In general, guard against overscheduling yourself. And the other thing for 19 and 20 is to delegate whenever and wherever you can. You don't have to do everything on your own. You can get people to help you. I mean, even if it's like housework or real estate work, it doesn't matter. You can delegate some of your marketing to to David, or you can have your kids help you clean the house or do the dishes or whatever. But if you don't have to do it, then delegate. Aim to handle pieces of paper only once. Same for emails. You read them and you deal with them. That's the best way. Having to go back and do it later, half the time you forget about it. And reward yourself for completing tasks on time. But you can't go out partying until all your work's done. So make sure that you keep the fun stuff to when your work is actually completely done. And organizing and decluttering your workspace so you don't have to waste time looking for things is a big time saver. Yeah, Paul. You need some files. Yeah, I've seen his desk.
You don't lose anything, do you? Just can't find it so long.
I know where everything is that he has that he can't find. It's somewhere on the floor.
Yeah.
Anyway, we love Paul. He's our neighbor. We love him. He entertains us.
If you get a big, you get a big box of folders, or we have them in the office, manila folders, and just put a label on it and put your stuff in there. Even if you don't have all this file space, just put it in a folder on your desk all together. Then at least you can look through the folders and you can find it. And it looks more organized.
I keep all my files in the drawer. They're not in the folder, but they're just in the drawer because I've already scanned them and done what I need with them. If they were to read a piece of paper, they're all in the same area. They're not in any kind of order or with their own files, but instead it's all on the computer. It's all electronic.
Most of my stuff is contact
Yeah.
calls. Fires, withdrawal.
So you have a folder for expired and for canceled and withdrawal, and then you pull out the folder you need and you got your whole list.
Yeah.
And you can make notes in there and you put it back.
Delegate. There's somebody in there to help you do that.
Schedule demanding tasks for the part of the day when you're at your peak. So you can focus completely on it. When you're tired and then you have something that demands a lot of your attention, you're not going to be able to give it 100%. So think about that when you make your list for the day. Group-related tasks. Sort papers on your desk and then file them. We just talked about that. It's more efficient. Make labels, files, folders, that type of thing to keep your desk clean and organized. Use downtime like you're waiting for a meeting or you're waiting for a client or you got 5 minutes to a phone, a phone conference or whatever the case may be. Use that time to answer your emails. Just use your time effectively throughout the day. And then this advice it applies to life outside of work too. It's better to be excellent at a few things than average at many. So always remember that. Don't be afraid to get projects done early. It takes them off your mind, and it doesn't mean that you haven't given them, that you'll be given more things to do. It's just one thing off your list. And then create a business environment that works for you. Adjust the lighting, turn off the email, pinger, noise, get yourself a cup of tea or whatever it is, and just hunker down and get your work done. And it's important that you do have an environment that you want and feel comfortable working in. If everything's a mess around you, it's hard to get concentrated on what you're trying to do. And that's why, keeping a clean environment is better. But maybe you work best in chaos. And if you do, hey, whatever works for you. Yeah. So, I mean, it is whatever works for you. But most people can always improve on time management and organization. And it just will give you more time throughout the day to do fun things when you get your work done. So the other thing is time management is a skill, and it can be learned. It takes practice to change your behavior, but you can do it. You have to believe in yourself, adopt some of these tips above, and your life will be less hectic. So those are pretty much my
Thank
ideas.
you, Gina. So how many people practice some of these things? Okay. Willie, what do you do? Which ones do you practice most
I
on
try
this?
to write stuff down.
You say you do that?
Yeah, I try to write things down. However, I'm not good at keeping with it, or I get off task.
You get distracted easily.
Yeah,
That's
whether
because you're
it's someone
too nice.
talking or,
You're just too nice, Willie.
that kind of thing.
So, Jocelyn, you raised your hand. What are some of the things you do here?
I write a list of to-dos. I don't do like time slots or anything like that, but just in general, I'll say before the weekend, I have several of these things done. And I have a set time that I check my email for the bulk of it, which is in the morning. When my alarm goes off, I roll over, and it's what wakes me up in the morning. I'm kind of sad, but I check all my email right when I wake up.
You don't check throughout the day then?
I do check. Well, I have push notifications. So if email comes through, I'll read the highlight of it. If it's something I'm looking for, if not, I find it, and then I'll delete and reorganize in the morning. But I always keep my inbox completely empty.
Wow.
Each morning is
That's nice.
That's
Or if
amazing.
not, like I have like 5 emails that get red flagged, like they're my things to go back and do. But other than that, they get filed away.
So you file them or delete them?
Depending on what they are. If they're spam, I delete them. If they're important, I
You put,
sift through them and then I.
and you file them in Outlook then?
Yeah. So it's all iMac to my phone. So if I move it from my phone, it moves from my computer. And then I have 4 email accounts. So I like to stay on top of them. You get that little number in the corner of your phone that says like. And so in some people's phones say like 15,000. I'm like, what? Oh my God, that would drive me crazy. And no, mine does. I think like 4 or 5 right now. And that's just the thing.
That's amazing. I wish I could do that. So let's go around the room so we can all do input some of the things we do, like Jocelyn just shared. Kelly, go ahead.
Well, one of mine, kind of like Gina's, is I try to have an open door. Tell when all young people come in anytime you want with any questions. I put down what I'm doing, and if I don't stop and write a note real quickly, or I acknowledge the person that's coming in, or whatever it is, I have a hard time getting back to what I was doing. Like, I just don't want to give them my full undivided attention. I think one of the things I do the most is I tackle my most unpleasant or most difficult things in the morning, and that helps me and more energized and handle like the weight and lift it off. Well, and it's like what I do with my processes. I say, if they have a problem, we deal with it immediately. And after hours, and I can't get a hold of somebody, then I do always make sure to handle first thing in the morning before any more questions come.
Gary.
I'm a little passionate around the things I try to take one for each day, one is timeline, the other is the things I think of off the top of my head. It's important, they're important. I'll like to start with timer. I'll do that every day, and I'll transfer to the next day. That helps, and then I create a pocket calendar around it. I used to use the iPhone, so I upgraded it, and then we got all screwed up. Like, I am hiring somebody smarter than me to help me get organized. January, I've got the one on the budget and also processing taxes, so that I can do most of it myself, you know.
That's fabulous. Yeah.
So,
You'll sleep.
because I'm totally a wreck, but
And you know, we shouldn't be doing things that we're not good at. I mean, what a waste of you're good at real estate. That's what you should be doing. Other people should be doing taxes for you.
and I can't,
Yeah.
when my dad called me, whenever their family called me, hey, can you come help me with this, come this, and I'm like, wait.
One of the things I do, because I've been working with a hard calendar for years, and now a calendar on my desktop that I put in a book, and then I also calendar my iPhone and my iPad as well, which is somewhat of a duplication, but sometimes it's quicker to get to one place than another. But I, as I said earlier, I do try to put time slots for that information. Something else I was going to.
Kathy, your book, that is your Bible. You say that.
Yeah,
all
this
the
is
time,
this
no
is
matter what.
this is phone conversations, incoming and outgoing calls. Yeah, and oh my gosh, this helps. And
Notes in it.
good ideas. Yeah, I take notes. I just went to another meeting earlier and I took some notes. In fact, $1 a day that Jocelyn talks about, I need to write that down because I just go back through this every day, several times a day. Call people back. I have everyone's names and phone numbers, and if it's important information, I'll make a Xerox copy of it and put it in the client file. And I'm not the genius on this. I used to do this on little pieces of paper, and then one day I saw what Barb Huntley was doing. So this is a Barb Huntley idea. She's making a lot more money than I am, so I'm going to keep doing this. Hope that works. But yeah, thank you for that. And I've always been involved. Time management has always been real important to me because I am easily distracted, and and then as a result of that, I'm very jealous of my time. So when people walk in my office, and my door is hardly ever shut unless I'm on the speakerphone, because I really like having people come in. But if I'm busy, I'm going to stand up and stand there until you leave.
And now we know. You walk in and she stands up to front.
But I don't know how we can do our job without time management. And I think the other thing too is, for me to be good at what I do, I have to feel like I'm in. And this doesn't surprise you. I have to be in control. Yeah, I know. And so the management and the scheduling helps me stay focused and in control, and it helps alleviate stress for me too.
Do you think having your Bluetooth instead of an actual phone on you all the time helps you not to start like thinking or getting sidetracked with other things? Because if you know if someone's calling, you're going to get a phone call for it. You don't actually have to be looking at things.
Is the question, do I like knowing I'm getting a phone call?
Right, like
Yeah.
you know that you have you're available, but you're not necessarily tied to this. Like it's not in front of you. It's in front of you right now. But
Yeah.
like you're not looking for text messages or emails or something of the
Right.
sort, because you know if someone needs you, they've got you.
Right.
And if not, I can wait for it.
I always want to know who's calling. I won't always take the call. My iPhone now gives me the option of, I had several years ago, I had a phone and what I wanted with my Bluetooth was automatic answering. So it would just, oh my God, I was losing my mind. This phone was answering in the middle of everything, whether I wanted them to or not. So that went away with the new systems. But I do want to know who's calling. I can now say, I'll call you back with the press of a button. But because what we do is so time sensitive, and especially if you submitted an offer and there's multiple offers, you can't afford to be missing calls. Your client will lose out on the house if you're not available to know exactly what's going on. So yeah, I like the Bluetooth. Helps me stay organized. Yes, what do you like to do?
I like the written list as well. I mean, it was horribly messy. So, and even if the safety meeting is a tab, to be able to write additional information and put these things into that.
That's a good idea.
Cross off the spreadsheet, and it's a circle next to it. Back to that one item I need to finish on that tab. And, if I find that it needs to have a date, then it's I'll put that date in there as well. And it's my life list. It means everything goes on it. Because then it's all in one place in front of you.
there with everything else. So, yeah, and a very helpful tip also in the phone is when I put a reminder in there, if it's something I constantly forget, remember at the wrong time, I will put in there when I reach a certain place or a certain time of day, it reminds me to look at something I need to do at work. When I get here, it reminds me that to look at
That's a great idea. Great idea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, check the mail.
Yeah, check the mail. I also
What's
think
that,
it's useful with the calendar as well. You can invite people to your task.
Yes.
So if it's a client meeting or something of the sort like that, I fill it all out and then I send them an invite so that they're going to get the notification as well. And I do this with like my significant other. He invites me to all of his work like events or when you have to go to work, so I can stop asking him like when's your work today or what time do you work today or whatever. I keep asking him. So I've got his calendar and my calendar, but it helps with alerts. So you don't have. I'm totally electronic when it comes to that.
We all want to be you,
I'm
Jocelyn.
very good with that.
Joan, what kind of time management do you use? Yep.
But I do keep it. I keep a week list going. The different places I have to be during each day, and that changes. And then there's always like a little short list, really special. That one day, and I put that by the coffee pot where I see it first thing in the morning. And files. I like to work from home, and my best hours are first thing in the morning when I get my coffee, because my brain works better. So maybe by 9 o'clock I've actually done quite a bit of work because there's nobody to bother me there.
Your energy levels are higher in the morning.
What?
Your energy levels are higher in the morning.
Yeah. You don't have a lot of other thoughts going through your head and shoulders. About the only thing I have on my desk is things I either really want to delve into a little bit more or something that I really need to work on. And then once I've delved into something or sometimes it's just something I want to learn or think about, and I put it in a file. I have a Kathy Fernandez handy file. So even you're in a
If you walk in my office, I will never stand up. I will sit down and talk.
That's what it takes.
What do I gotta say?
It goes through tons of paperwork looking for something I learned in Kathy's class.
So,
Go ahead, Jen, I'm sorry.
oh, I was just going to say one other thing, Paul. You're talking about you have people that you can't get off the phone.
Yeah.
So if you need to call them back, there's an app called Slydial you can get for your phone. I have it, Slydial, and you call them through Slydial. Their phone never rings. It goes straight to voicemail, and you can leave a message for whatever you want.
What is it again?
Yeah, Slydial.
Does it show up as Dina? Does it show up as no color unknown?
I don't know. Let me call you and see.
Isn't that kind of cowardly?
No, because sometimes you know people that you need to tell them something, but you don't have 30 minutes to talk to them.
Oh, wow.
So you just call them through Slydial, and then
And I do this often when people call me. I will commonly ignore a phone call before, and then I'll call them back.
We've noticed.
I do. I commonly.
Well, that's time management on your part. That's how
Right.
you manage your time.
I mean, my mom called.
you leave them a voicemail. They have a voicemail. Because you leave them. No. So, like, you call them. So,
That's what my dog does.
are you in here? Okay, so I'm going to call you right now, John.
Well, it's not gonna ring. No. Oh, it won't ring?
Slide dial.
Oh, it won't ring, so you don't even know they're calling.
That explains a lot of
Hold on.
phone calls.
Hold on.
Yeah, now we know.
Hold on. They're leaving me a
Idea.
message. Oh, now it's doing it now.
I left you a voicemail message.
Nope, it's going.
Your voicemail icon pops up. Does not have that happen.
Oh, it disconnected. Let me try again.
SLYDIAL. Slide dial.
Yeah, that'll just come up. Put in slide D and it'll come up. Slide, I don't know. Whatever, slide broadcast.
Yes, what we were.
Why is it doing me? It's doing a commercial.
Voicemail icon all of a sudden lights up. Put in your voice. I didn't hear a phone. Never answer my call. I think each night sometimes does that as well. I had a client call me on Saturday, and my phone never had a missed call. And then at 12:15 I had a voicemail. Like I said, I check my notifications all the time, so I know.
I don't know why it's disconnecting.
And it yeah, 2 hours before, and I called her and I apologized.
Oh, let's see.
And
Try Jocelyn.
yeah, it rang and went to voicemail and I left the message and yeah, it was going up and stuff. So it never rang, didn't have a call, and the voicemail didn't pop up.
But you don't want to tell people, that many people, about Slide Dial, because you know, if they're all of a sudden your voicemail pops up and you left them a voicemail, you Slide Dialed me.
You're avoiding me.
Well, I was wondering if it pops up with your.
I'm calling you right now, see.
Oh, you are.
Mhm.
How do you know what Jocelyn's
It gives you a voice.
So Lisa, while we have a few minutes left, what do you do with time management? How do you manage your time?
Well, I used to do the notebook and I really need to get back into that because it does help me in conversations and like you said before we start having that court or something.
Did not successfully connect to your voicemail for some reason.
Absolutely.
There is a person come up on the location came up like two. Sorry.
I've always had like really good success with them. What's going on
Oh,
today?
sure. Oh, yeah.
That's weird though.
Lisa, I'm sorry.
They never
So
do
that
connect.
you got the reminder,
I'll try one more
location reminder. What a good idea.
What I learned from there and I want to implement that. Yeah. And then the notebook
And then we put the date on the outside and we file these away permanently. In fact, all of my team members have to have notebooks. This notebook, the conversation notebook. Oh,
and
yeah.
I sent everyone an email, well, whoever's on her reminder list about points, or she also wants to have report. The color report. The color report. That's why it's admin.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
What is-
I sent you an email.
Oh, you
I don't
did?
know why
Oh,
it's not
thank
working.
You, Jocelyn. Thank you.
That's weird.
What's really weird is it's like you get two unknown phone calls. You get two phone calls. One comes from unknown and then one comes from
Paul, what do you do? How do you do time management? Oh, surely you do. You're making good money.
Well,
Well, you use associate services, right?
yeah, I
So,
try to max out on that. So,
How can you max out on associate services?
how can I what?
Max out on associate services.
Yeah.
Okay.
Order and call and do everything I can possibly get them to do.
I see what you're saying. Okay. So you delegate, basically. You delegate.
Mhm.
So I guess.
Yeah.
Because I,
I just sent them a message because it's not working.
out of admin so they can prospect more.
There you go. That's time management, Paul.
Prospect.
And that's what you're really good at, too. We should all do what we're best at. Amanda, time management. What have you learned or what do you do? Yeah. Yeah, I need to do more of that myself. Personally, we need to give Paul a good example, right? Did you learn anything else?
Which number? 24?
Paul, one of the things that makes you so lovable is that we can tease you. You know what? You know what my mother used to say about that? My mother used to say, if people don't like you, they won't tease you. They only tease you if they like you. Okay, John, time management. You are so good at scheduling time to make your calls.
I'm good at that, and a few other things. I put the things that I think are important. And my planner, I use the box book.
Oh, you do?
I will provide them.
Yeah.
I've
Bad
run out of
reception
space with
here.
that, so I'm looking for another planner. I use one side to do my schedule, the time block everything in, and then another
For your notes.
for my notes and everything, and I like to keep everything in just one book.
You know, daytimers are fabulous for what you just said.
So that's, and Franklin Covey has a really good
They do.
planner.
Fabulous.
I'm probably going to go back to using that.
Right. Franklin Covey. Franklin planners.
And just also one thing, I have found that scheduling time and certain things is the most productive. It may not be when I feel the best, but I found that it's the most productive time to do a few things. My nights for appointments, like senior buyer's appointments. Usually if I just, even if I'm tired, I don't feel good, if I start,
Finish.
I get back in a rhythm.
And what time of day is that?
Like, I make phone calls between 4:30 and 6:30 because I just found that is the best time.
Yeah. To reach
If I try to
people.
do that earlier in the day,
You're not going to get very many.
yeah, I'm going to make 100 calls and talk to 10 people.
Right.
But if I call between 4:30 and 6:30, I'm going to make 50 calls and I'll talk to 20 plus. Most people are home at that time.
I just remember what I wanted to mention earlier. Thank you, John. When we're busy, that's what we do. But when I get a call, come look at my house, we want to interview you, or when will you have that CMA to me? My time frame for myself is within 3 days. If they call me Monday, by Thursday, I will have it to them. That's my personal deadline for either meeting with them or giving them what they've asked me to do if I'm willing to do it. And so I'll say I'll have it done by the end of the day on Thursday. Now, sometimes the end of my day is 10 o'clock p.m., but then I go back, I promise it, and I go back to my calendar and I literally make it work. Even if I have to cancel something personal, I will make it work. Because what I've learned in this business is our clients want instant gratification, and if you can't see them until a week from now, they're going to think you're too busy for them. Yeah, so you have to really, be careful how you commit to them. And many times, if I know and I can't do that 3-day window without major circumcision of my schedule, then I will ask them, well, what would be a good day and time for you? And I'm hoping they're saying next week. And then I'll let that happen. But as soon as possible, I'll make it happen in 3 days or less. So just let you.
Do you have a set day off?
What was that?
Do you have a set? Well, I know. But that's what I was asking. Do you take this like a personal day?
I schedule personal days. As a matter of fact, I do schedule personal days. I don't always take them, but they're in my calendar, and I try to make them work. But on my personal days, is to get personal bills paid, or water all my plants, or meal planning. That's my personal day. But if somebody wants to write an offer, that's what we do.
Right. I've been taking Mondays off. Since I work Saturday and Sunday for open house.
That's smart.
So I was just wondering if you had a day that you took off. Because yes, I've got, days laundry. I'm not saying it's a let's go have fun day. I'm saying it's a
But you got to get caught up. Yeah.
right. You have to get caught up.
Yeah, and if I get behind on those kind of things, it starts to wear me down. It drags me down. I need to stay on top of the personal things as well. And I have a housekeeper. I've had a housekeeper even when I couldn't afford one many years ago. That housekeeper was so critical to me because I knew my time was more valuable than what I was paying that housekeeper. And I mean, think about that. It makes a huge difference to be able to come home to a clean house.
Yeah, I've had one for years and years.
Yeah.
And I used to do like every other week, but now I do every week, but it's half clean on the other week, where it just does all the floors and wipes down the bathroom. So not the whole full-fledged.
Oh, Jocelyn, just think how much money you can make with the 4 or 5 hours you need to clean your home every week,
Right.
if you can even get to it. And you're gonna make in a 4 and 5 hour time slot $5,000, maybe $7,000. You're gonna pay the housekeeper $100. That's how we have to think.
And believe me, once you get a housekeeper, you will do anything to keep them. You will do open houses every weekend to get another client to pay for it.
Anyway,
Because-
Tina, thank you so much. A round of
You're
applause for
welcome.
Tina. Thanks for helping us.
My daughter's 23. What day? The day is it? 4 days. She turns 3. Is that your only one? No, that's my youngest. So that's when I do all my time off of. When I have to stop paying daycare for everything. I can afford a housekeeper. Almost 7.
How much is your
$900. It really cuts your budget down for anything and everything else.
Can I, a place? And you can check it out.
Where? Tyson.
I said over at Imagination Station. Yeah, that's really good. And that's where I took Alex and all my foster kids until they turned 3. And then when they turned 3, I mean, I went across town to get to Imagination Station because I didn't like any place else.
Right.
Anchorage Christian Preschool. It's $715, $710, something like that. And teach them.
Yeah.
And I mean, less money, a couple $100 less money. 7:30, I think they're open, and 6 till 6 at night. You should check it out. Oh, right now it's buy 2 months, get 1 free.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get people in there.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
I've been at Imagination Station for 7 years because my son worked there and he goes there every summer. And
Okay.
I have that relationship, and I think it's worth it. I mean, you know what I mean? I think they're educated. I mean, my daughter's not even 3; it's just under 18. You know, like my son when he's kindergarten, you know, you have to teach him the books and enjoy, you know,
Exactly. Yeah.
like I swear, I swear by my son's daycare.
Close it out.